Let me tell you something that may just change the direction of your life. And it starts with what you do before 9 o'clock a.m. See, too many people spend their lives reacting, snoozing, alarms, rushing out the door, chasing time instead of mastering it. They live by default, not by design. But let me give you the truth. Your morning isn't just the start of your day, it's the foundation of your future. Now, here's the real question. How you begin? Is it random or is it intentional? Are you waking up with purpose or just waking up? Because if you win the morning, you win the day. And if you repeat that rhythm long enough, you win the year. You win your life. It's not about perfection, it's about direction. Discipline design, just 1 or 2 simple habits in the morning stacked daily can unlock more clarity, more energy, and more results than most people ever imagine. So I challenge you, not tomorrow, not next Monday, but starting today, to rethink the way you wake up. Because if you don't have a routine, life will hand you one. And I promise you it won't be the one you want. Stay with me, because in this video I'm going to walk you through exactly how to build a powerful, personal, and productive morning routine, one that sets the tone for success every single day. Let's begin the first hour. Master it, or be master. Let's talk about the first hour of your day, the moment your eyes open and the world hasn't quite grabbed you yet. Now hear me loud and clear. That first hour is not just another 60 minutes on the clock. It's a golden window, a sacred space, a choice. And the way you treat it will determine whether you run your life or your life runs you. You see, most people don't have a morning. They have an emergency. They roll out of bed late, skip the reflection, grab their phone like it's oxygen, and dive straight into noise. No direction, no intention, just reaction. But let me give you a new idea. The first hour is your training ground. It's your advantage. It's your edge. And if you can learn to master that hour, you can learn to master your entire day and eventually your entire destiny. Because here's what I learned: discipline starts before breakfast. That first hour sets the tone, it builds momentum. It whispers to your mind, this day belongs to me. I'm in control. Now think of it like this: the morning is your personal boardroom. It's where the CEO of your life, that's you, decides how the rest of the day will unfold. So let me ask you, do you walk into that first hour with a plan, or are you drifting into it like a leaf in the wind? Because if you don't command the first hour, the world will. And let me tell you, the world is pushy. It's got texts, notifications, breaking news, drama, distraction, and none of it is in service of your dreams. Now let's get practical. What do I mean by mastering the first hour? It doesn't mean cramming in 20 things. It means choosing just a few small disciplines and doing them with purpose. Here's a suggestion. Wake up with intention, not anxiety. Sit in silence before the noise arrives. Write down your goals, even if they're the same as yesterday. Read 10 pages of something that feeds your mind, not your fear. Move your body even just a little. And most importantly, decide who you're going to be today. You don't need perfection, you need rhythm. You need commitment, you need consistency. Because when the first hour is intentional, the rest of the day follows like a well-trained horse. But if the first hour is chaos, you spend the rest of the day trying to recover from your own lack of preparation. I've seen this in my own life over and over. When I treated my morning like an accident, my results looked accidental. But when I treated my morning like a ritual, like a ceremony, the rest of my day rose to meet that standard. And the best part? It only takes one decision to start. Not next week. Not after the weekend. Tomorrow morning, you get up and you take control of the first hour. You set the tone. You set the intention. You begin the day like the leader of your own life, not a follower of chaos. Because if you don't master that first hour, sooner or later, life will master you. And I don't want that for you. I want your mornings to be the launching pad for your success, not the apology for your failure. So begin here. Master the morning. Master the moment, and soon you will find yourself mastering the life you once only dreamed of. Success is hidden in your schedule. Let me share with you a simple truth that changed my life, and it might just change yours. Success doesn't show up by surprise. It shows up by schedule. Yes, that's right. Not by luck, not by wishes, not even by talent alone. Success is found not in the big goals, but in the little blocks of time most people waste without a second thought. Your calendar, my friend, is not just where you keep appointments, it's where you build your future. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not talking about cramming your day full of to-do lists and hustle. No, that's not the game. I'm talking about intentional time that's aligned with who you want to become. Because here's what I've learned. You can't have a first-class life with a second-class schedule. Let me ask you, if I looked at your calendar for the week, would I see your dreams on it? Would I see time for reading, time for thinking, time for building, time for health, time for relationships? Or would I just see errands, meetings, mindless scrolling, a whole lot of busy but not a lot of progress? See, success isn't buried in the future. It's hidden in your daily routine, and more specifically, how you structure your time. Let me give you a word: deliberate. The difference between the successful and the unsuccessful is not hours. It's how deliberately those hours are used. We all get the same 24. The question is, who's getting more value out of their 24? The broke man and the wealthy man. Same time, the undisciplined and the achiever. Same clock, the difference, the schedule. You see, your life moves in the direction of what you consistently give your time to. Want to become stronger? Schedule your workouts. Want to be smarter? Schedule your learning. Want better relationships? Schedule. Connection. Want freedom? Schedule. Discipline. Here's what I recommend. Don't just live from memory. Live from a design. Design a day that moves your life forward. Design a week that reflects your values, not your stress. Now, don't try to perfect it on day one. That's not the point. Start simple. Block 30 minutes in the morning for you. Block 20 minutes to reflect at night. Give your goals a time slot and protect it like it matters, because it does. Your future is not waiting to be discovered, it's waiting to be scheduled. And here's the beautiful part. Once you take control of your schedule, you stop living like a victim of time, and you start living like the architect of your life. So take a look at your day, take a look at your week. Don't just fill the hours, invest them. Put success on the calendar and then show up like your life depends on it, because it does. Remember, either you run your schedule or your schedule will run you, and one of those leads to a life of purpose, the other, a life of regret. Choose wisely, design deliberately, and schedule the success. You say you want your rituals, reveal your results. Let me share something with you that every successful person understands, even if they don't always say it out loud. Success isn't something you stumble into, it's something you create with your rituals. Now, I know what you're thinking. What's a ritual, Jim? A ritual is more than a habit. It's a decision made sacred by repetition. It's not just what you do, it's what you commit to doing every single day, with purpose, with meaning, and with direction. See, people want the results, but they ignore the rituals. They want the six-figure income, but not the early mornings. They want the strong body, but not the daily movement. They want peace of mind, but won't touch silence and stillness. But I'll tell you this, your rituals tell the truth. They tell me whether you're serious or just wishing. They tell me what direction your life is heading long before the results show up. Because what you repeat, you become. Let me ask you, what do your daily rituals say about you? Do they say discipline or distraction? Do they whisper growth or screen stagnation? Do they speak of purpose or survival? It's not what you occasionally do that shapes your destiny. It's what you do consistently, when no one's watching, when no one's cheering, when no one's asking. Let me give you a simple example. You want to be a reader? Read every morning, 10 pages a day. That's 300 pages a month, 3,600 pages a year. That's not just reading, that's identity transformation. You want to be fit? Move every morning. You don't need an hour. Start with 15 minutes. Rituals aren't about duration. They're about devotion. And here's the secret. At first, you shape your rituals, but over time, your rituals shape you. They build your confidence. They build your mindset. They build your life. You see, your results are just a mirror. They reflect the rituals you've repeated over time. If you want better results, don't start with the goal, start with the ritual. So what do? We don't try to do everything. We choose a few powerful things, and we do them well, every day, without excuse, without drama, without needing to feel motivated, because discipline beats motivation every time. Build a ritual for your body. Build a ritual for your mind. Build a ritual for your spirit. Stack those wins and stack them early in the day. Because how you start your day often becomes how you live your life. Rituals are how you signal to the world and to yourself that you're serious. So don't just chase results. Build the foundation. And remember, if you want to change your life, don't change everything. Change your rituals. Start small, stay consistent, and watch your results. Begin to rise like the sun every single day, from snooze to strategy. Replace lazy habits. Let's talk about something simple but dangerous. I Forgive Myself for Everybody by Leo Turney. The snooze button. Now, it may seem harmless. What's 10 more minutes, right? But let me tell you something. Those 10 minutes are not free. You pay for them with momentum, with discipline, and eventually with regret. You see, snoozing is not just a sleep issue, it's a mindset issue. It's your first decision of the day. It says, I'd rather delay than start. It says comfort over commitment. It says later instead of now. And the tragedy is that small, lazy habit becomes a big, lazy life, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. If you delay the day, you'll delay the dream. If you start with avoidance, you'll finish with excuses. Let me challenge your thinking. What if the first 5 minutes of your day became your most powerful? What if instead of hitting snooze, you hit strategy? See, here's the truth. Your bed is for resting, not retreating. And your morning is for action, not avoidance. You don't need to overhaul your life. You just need to change that first decision. Let's replace the lazy habit with a winning ritual. Get out of bed on the first alarm, not because you feel like it, but because you said you would. That's how confidence is built, by keeping promises to yourself. When it's hard, then what? Drink water, wake the body, move, wake the mind. Write down your goals, wake your purpose. Don't check your phone. Don't scroll the feed. Don't start your day in someone else's life. Start in yours. This is how we shift from passive to powerful, from snooze to strategy. Now, some people say, Jim, I'm just not a morning person. And I say, that's not a label, that's a pattern. And patterns can be changed. You just have to want the outcome more than the excuse. You see, every lazy habit can be replaced, but not removed if you don't replace it with something better. I will return. So build a new pattern, a new decision, a new identity. The kind of person who doesn't hit snooze because life is calling, because purpose is calling, because progress doesn't wait. Remember, every time you hit snooze, you train yourself to delay life, but every time you rise with intention, you train yourself for greatness. So make the decision, not once, but every morning. No more delays, no more lazy starts. Trade in that snooze button for strategy, structure, and self-respect. Because your dreams are not sleeping in. They're waiting for you, just on the other side of the alarm clock. Fuel the mind. The morning is for learning. Let me ask you a question. What are you feeding your mind first thing in the morning? Because just like the body needs fuel, so does the mind. And if you start the day with junk, don't be surprised when your thoughts are foggy. Your attitude is weak and your results are average. Here's the truth. The first thoughts of your day shape the quality of your day, and the quality of your day over time shapes the quality of your life. Now, most people, they wake up and feed their mind with noise. The news, the gossip, the drama, the headlines. They start the day anxious, reactive, and behind, and then wonder why the rest of the day feels like a battle. But you're here to grow. You're here to build a better life. And that starts with feeding your mind the right nutrients. First thing in the morning, let me give it to you plain. You need to study more than you scroll. You need to absorb wisdom before you absorb distraction. Because ideas are the seeds of change. And every morning is a chance to plant new ones. Now don't worry, I'm not talking about 5 hours in the library. I'm talking about 15, maybe 20 minutes. Start small, stay consistent. A few pages of a good book, 10 minutes of an educational podcast, listening to a mentor who's been where you want to go. Let your morning be your classroom. Not your crisis. Because every day you are either building your mind or letting it go dull. And in this world, a dull mind is a dangerous thing. You've got dreams to build, skills to sharpen, thoughts to upgrade, and mornings give you the mental space to do just that before the world starts knocking. You know what happens when you fuel your mind in the morning? You think sharper, you act wiser, you speak with more clarity, you face the day with more direction, because the more you learn, the more you can earn, become, and contribute. Now, some people say, Jim, I don't have time in the morning. And I say, then you don't have time to grow. Listen, you make time for what matters. Cut 10 minutes from scrolling, cut 15 from complaining, and you've just bought back your mind. Here's the deal. Garbage in, garbage out wisdom. In wisdom out. So guard the gates of your mind, especially in the morning. Feed it something strong, something useful, something true. Because your life will rise or fall to the level of your thinking. And your thinking is shaped by what you study. Start tomorrow. Put a book by your bed. A notebook on the table. A podcast on standby. Turn off the noise and turn up the learning. Because when you fuel the mind early, you lead the day with power, not panic. And that, my friend, is the mark of someone building a life on purpose. Remember, discipline isn't just mental, it's physical. And when your body moves with intention, your mind follows its lead. Let me say that again. When your body moves with intention, your mind follows its lead. That's why successful people don't just train their thoughts. They train their mornings, they train their energy, they train their pace. You ever notice how some people carry momentum all day long? They're not lucky. They're not special. They move early, and momentum stays with them. So what's the takeaway? Build movement into your morning ritual. Walk while you think. Stretch while you reflect. Let motion become the switch that turns your day on, because the alternative is simple. You wait, you stall, you hesitate, and hesitation is the enemy of success. Here's the truth. You don't need to feel motivated to move. You need to move, and then you'll feel motivated. It works in life, it works in business, it works in your spirit. So tomorrow morning, don't just wake up, rise, stand, move. Shake off the sleep. Shake off the doubt, shake off yesterday's limitations, and step into momentum. One move at a time. Because movement may not solve everything, but it's how everything starts. Movement sparks momentum. Let's talk about one of the simplest, most overlooked keys to success: movement. Now, I'm not just talking about fitness or working out or running 5 miles before sunrise, though. Those are fine if you want them. I'm talking about something more basic and more powerful: physical motion that creates mental momentum. See, too many people try to think their way into action. They sit still, scroll a little, overthink a lot, and they wonder why nothing's changing. But here's a principle I learned early. You don't wait for energy, you create it. And the fastest way to create energy is to move your body. Stretch, walk, breathe, do 10 push-ups, march in place, step outside for air. You don't need a gym, you need a spark. Because when you move, things shift, the blood flows, the mind clears, ideas come, confidence rises, momentum wakes up. I call it activation. And in the morning, before emails, before meetings, before the madness, you need to activate yourself. Why? Because motion defeats stagnation. Because stillness leads to stiffness in the body and in the mind. And because the person who starts fast finishes stronger. Now listen, you don't need to be extreme. You need to be consistent. A few minutes of movement each morning is enough to ignite the system. The morning is for gratitude and goals. Let me tell you, how you begin your day is how you shape your life. And there are 2 forces you must feed every single morning: gratitude and goals. Gratitude keeps your heart aligned. Goals keep your mind focused. Most people, they start their day in survival mode. They wake up stressed, thinking about what's missing, what's wrong, and what hasn't happened yet. But here's the truth. If you start your day in lack, you'll live your day in limitation. If you start your day with complaint, you'll carry that mindset all day long. That's why the first few minutes of the morning should be a time to recalibrate your perspective, to remind yourself you're alive, you're breathing, you've got another shot. So start with gratitude, and not just vague thank yous. Get specific, thankful for your health, even if it's not perfect. Thankful for your family, even if things aren't easy. Thankful for opportunity, even if it's still becoming clear. Gratitude trains your eyes to see the good, and it trains your mind to expect more of it. But gratitude alone isn't enough. You also need clarity, direction, aim. That's where goals come in. See, the morning is the time to reconnect with why you're doing this, why you're working, why you're pushing. Discipline over comfort. Write down your goals, speak them out loud, and don't just write what you want. Write who you're becoming to get it. You want to be wealthy, then write, I'm becoming a disciplined steward of my time and talents. You want to be healthier, then write, I'm becoming someone who honors the body with every choice, because goals aren't just about acquisition, they're about transformation. And here's the real secret. Gratitude roots you in the present. Goals pull you into your future. And when you live with both, you walk your day with peace and power. Now, some people say, Jim, what if I don't feel grateful? What if I don't feel inspired? And I say, that's exactly why you practice it. You don't wait to feel thankful. You practice it until the feeling comes. You don't wait to feel focused. You write the goals until clarity shows up. Discipline first, emotion follows. So here's the challenge. Every morning before the world gets noisy, before the demands of the day begin, take 5 minutes, 3 minutes for gratitude, 2 minutes for goals, or flip it. Doesn't matter. What matters is you build the habit of direction into the start of your day. Because if you don't decide what matters to you, the day will decide for you, and you might not like its choices. So tomorrow morning, wake up thankful. Thankful for what is hungry, for what could be gratitude in one hand, goals in the other. And that, my friend, is a life built on purpose. Win the morning, win the day. Let me give you a phrase that changed my life. Win the morning, and you win the day. Now that might sound simple, almost too simple, but don't let the simplicity fool you. This is one of the most powerful disciplines you'll ever build. Why? Because how you begin determines how you continue, and how you continue determines how you finish. See, the average person survives the morning. They rush, they scroll, they react, they scramble. But the successful person, the fulfilled person, the disciplined person, they own the morning. They rise with intention. They follow a pattern. They don't stumble into the day, they lead it.